Okay, so seems like I'm live. Hello everyone, I'm KrusKader and this is Dragon Slayer Gaiden, Nemuri no Oukan. I don't speak Japanese, so I don't even know what that means. Game has no translation, but without further ado, first we have to name our character, and I usually go with something with those symbols. And we have 4 classes: Knight, Sorcerer, Ranger, and I think this is Tanker. One moment. Zajęty jestem. Nie mogę. Sorry about that. But yeah, without further ado, let's get started. 3, 2, 1, go. So, intro cutscene. I press A, nothing. Start, nothing. Start plus A. We skipped it. Okay, so first thing, no. I'm gonna switch this option, which will make that when I'm crossing the screen, instead of it swiping like in Zelda 1, it's gonna flash. Okay, so I bought a sword, and it would be nice if I also get an armor and shield. And luckily there are ones right here. I can make a game audio higher if that's what you want. Anyway, now I got new gear, so let's equip it. And now I'm gonna save the game. Save and quit. And now we can head off for an adventure. The most dangerous enemies here are those crocodiles because they shoot. Everything else is nothing, and holy heckeroni, how many of them are there? Like 5 in total? That's a lot. Okay, so I talked to this guy and he gave me something. I think it's like a container or something, because with it I have to go to this spring and use it. So I imagine some container for water. And yes, this game is very reminiscent of Final Fantasy Adventure. So now I used it here, and I'm not sure exactly what I did here, but now passageway to the cavern is open. Ouch. That's a real infestation of those crocodiles. I never seen this many before, to be honest. Either way, here comes the first boss, which is this goblin. His attack is summoning fireballs, which fly hectically in every direction, which is a problem, because I can't have any reliable way of defending myself from them, outside of hoping that they won't collide with me. So I can just die if game decides so. But okay, nothing bad happened. So now I pick this thing up, save, and quit. And now it's time to talk to many people. If I remember right, these games were yesterday. Anyway, now I have to go to this town, talk to this guy, which is, I think, one who gave us this bucket? Or whatever that was, and just talk to him. And now I have to talk to this old lady who gives me something. And also to this girl. And even though I'm literally in starting house, I'm gonna save and quit because this old lady is always blocking the way during this very section. Always. I don't trust her anymore. So now more shopping. I need to buy a magic spell of healing. And now I also need to talk to the king. He tells me some things. I imagine he's now sending me on epic quests to do things. To which I agree, and also gives some other things. I think those are passes, which I need to show guards later to pass. Okay, that's all we have to do here. Now we can move on. Oops, okay. So now I use this thing. No, not this thing. And guard can let me through. And now I have to face this guy, who before I face has a question, which I don't understand because I don't speak Japanese. I thought I gonna kill him before he kills me, but I was wrong. Well, at least now I know I can't do that. Very well then, I'm gonna now do the save strat. Okay, this guy again. And the safe stat is to stay here. He barely shows within the range of my sword for a brief moment where I can hit him and he can't hit me. And now he leaves me this thing. And also, I skipped that very quickly, but he asks me something before his death. And I have to say yes to pass. I have no idea what it is, but it's something. Anyway, now we enter this giant tree, which is inhabited by those, I think, fairies? Or some other mystical creatures. Either way, there's a dragon inside this thing, and as title implies, we have to slay him. Oops. Golem, please. So first we're gonna go here, talk to this person to get a key. And with this key we can acquire a better gear. Right behind this very gate, let's see, I think it's this thing. Yes. And here we have a new gear and also some fourth item, which I don't even know what that is. Some consumable that I'm gonna sell for money. Ah yes, and before I forget, let's equip the better gear. And I'm gonna need it for the boss. The dragon relentlessly spits fire, so what I'm gonna do is just face tank him. I have some healing magic, so I can afford it. And he's done, though. Okay, save. And moving on. Now we can go this way. So we could enter this passageway earlier, but there was this boulder blocking the way. Now this mage appears and boulder is gone. New town, so let's go buy better sword. Come on, enter. D-pad, please. And this, okay. And buy better sword. And I also need to talk to this pirate who asks me some favor and they gives a key. Okay, first thing here I need to pick up this chest. It contains a thing which sells for a lot of money, so... And now I'm gonna face off this boss. This boss charges at me like there's no tomorrow, so I'm gonna cheese him by camping in the entrance, where he cannot reach me. And the boss is done. Okay, now I need to use this to have this guy let me through. And more shopping time. So now I'm also selling my healing spell, and that's because I'm gonna buy a better healing spell in this town. And that's all two spells that a knight has access to. Healing spell and better healing spell. Also, if you're wondering, there is no translation for this game. I've beaten it casually using walkthrough game facts, which honestly I think is pretty bad but gets the job done. So now we're gonna face this bull guy again. But this time he spits fire. Luckily, as long as I stay on the left here, he won't hit me. Oops. I have to be careful though, because I can accidentally exit the room and it will reset the boss fight, so... Okay, didn't do it. So now we got a bunch of gear, including the best sword in the game. And also for some reason, now we spawn in this town. And I think it's because this cleft appears. But before that we could went to the next town and slip there to set their respawn point and get stuck, so I guess they changed it now for that reason. Also, one thing you might not notice, but this game is grid-based, like, I'm moving one square at the time. No less, no more. Similarly enemies, they just move from square to square. It's not as free movement as in FFA. Anyway, equip the better sword and use the key. Oops, that's the wrong stairway. Okay, and now I need to pick these chests. This one in particular because it contains key item that I need to advance. And now puzzle. It's very simple, but I'm not sure where you're supposed to find in-game the solution. But either way. Now we face the boss, which I like to call Flea Knight, because he looks like a flea. And here's the best sword. It fires homing fireballs. So I can just chill here. Because I'm on the edge of the screen, boss doesn't react. And he just melted. Okay, now very important thing. I'm returning the treasure to a pirate. No, the boss didn't kill himself. I shoot homing fireballs at him. Anyway, now I got from the pirate in return for his treasure a better sword. This one doesn't fire homing fireballs, but instead crystals that bounce around. And normally I only really use him for the next boss. But recently I tried using him also for the next boss. And the results were okay, so I'm gonna use it there too. Now there's better shield in the passageway on the left, but it takes a long way, so I'm only gonna go here to grab a new armor and head to the boss. And also don't forget to equip better gear. Better sword and armor. Okay, so coming up is a fire dragon who has 2 heads. And here's fun fact. When I first routed this game without save and quit, I always had only lower head of this boss shoot only upper head shoot fire. However, once I started to use save and quits, only lower heads shoot fireballs. Why is it? I have no clue. And now cutscene. Some other wizard appears and almost kills me. And this is really only moment where you can reliably death warp, but it's faster to save and quit. Okay, now our ship crashed. And we're on this island inhabited by giants. So now we have to gather some materials to get off this island. Here is, I think it's feather of a giant chicken. And also our spawn point is now on this island. And now we're gonna go to this house which belongs to the weapon merchant. If we talk to weapon merchant, he will ask us to kill the giant rat that's in his house, but we don't need to talk to him, we can just go. I see CS in chat and my first thought is Counter-Strike, but then I remember that there's Cold Steel. Anyway, here's the rat. And let me tell you, this boy is really tanky. Oops, I almost died. Okay, rat is done. Okay, I'm a little worried now because after dying to that boss earlier, I was 1 minute behind after the tree dragon. And now I'm almost even with my PB. This just shows how bad my PB was, but I didn't expect it to be bad. I actually thought it was kinda decent. Anyway, now I have to use this item and talk to Captain Blackbird, and we're off. And I'm probably gonna be ahead after this split because there's one strat which I didn't pull off in my PB, and that is killing the next boss with... Wait, I don't need this. I don't need this either. With this sword. Yeah, this one. Okay, so now we're gonna go to this mysterious basement. And here we're gonna meet that weird mage that destroyed the boulder which blocked away earlier. And he will tell us to go to some temple north from here. Because that temple looks a bit Greek to me, I call it Pantheon. Even though... Actually, is Pantheon name of a temple? I don't remember. Anyway, there we will get best armor and shield, and then we return to that basement for the best sword in the game. So this place is actually a maze. There are those statues and you have to answer yes or no. Yes opens door on the right, no on the left. And first we're gonna go left, because there is harder boss. For which I specifically bought this sword. And also for this boss I mustn't mash. I need to rhythmically press attack button, otherwise I'm gonna miss a lot of attacks and he might out DPS me. And as you can see, he's pretty savage. Wow, I almost killed him without healing. That's good. And we got, I think this is shield. I forgot who gives what. And going through the door puts us at the start of the place. So now we're gonna go to the second boss, the Sphinx. And Sphinx, that one, is not gonna fight us. He's instead gonna ask questions, and that's wrong answer. And I don't speak Japanese, but I know the answers because you can tell them by the first line of the question, so let's see. This... Easy. Wow, I'm at the moment 36 seconds ahead of my PB, with a freaking death early on, and... Oh wait, I remembered that TAS saves and quits now, but I don't need to save and quit, so whoops! because Tassel rests in the next town. Well, the town after the town of giants. So whoops, gonna lose all that time right now. I really should buy SNES controller to GameCube adapter, cause I have Game Boy player and the cartridge of this game and run it on console. Okay, now we're gonna get the best sword, and now I'm giving a flashing warning for the rest of the game for every boss, because this sword obliterates everything on screen in a flash. And it's a pretty bright flash, so... And I'm gonna be spamming it like there's no tomorrow, so... Just so you know. I'll try my best to not use it outside of boss fights, but if some enemy blocks my way, I'm just gonna shank him. And now that we got there, the blizzard that was blocking the way here is gone, and we can move on here. So first I'm gonna rest in the inn to set my respawn point here. Because I have to go to this town after the next dungeon. Oops. And now we're gonna go to this tower. It's actually some sort of a light tower because we're gonna light a beacon on top. And for whatever reason, enemies here are the weakest enemies in the game that we met at the very start of the game. I don't understand it, but it's like that. Okay, as I said, flashing warning. Okay, and it's gone. Okay, so now I have to check the beacon, which opens this passageway here, and I think this is corpse from which I'm picking up a thing. I think it's some torch or something else to light the beacon, which now I can use here. Oops, not this. Okay, back in the town. So I need to buy this to enter the next dungeon. I have no idea what it is, but it removes block of ice, so probably some thermite bomb or something. Right here. I use this here to open this dungeon. Okay, thank you for moving out of the way. Okay, this dungeon has 3 bosses, and now it's gonna be the first one, the Illusion, featuring a giant dragon ghost. So as I said, flashing warning. So normally you have to hit the king, but I can just stay here and mash my obliterator sword. And still flashing warning, because now we're gonna fight another 2 bosses. First is a sorcerer, which is pretty weak. And now he changes to an ice dragon, which flies up and down. When I ran the Stranger, I had a really neat strat of positioning well to hit the dragon as much as possible when it dives. But with Knight there is no strat, you just mash. Okay. Save and quit, and also now everything is dark. And we got this thing which teleports us back to the home. And now we have to go to one town which I skipped early on, because there's literally nothing of interest there. So now we're gonna go there, talk to a random person which is in the depths of a random house, and then they will give us an item which is needed to access the very end of the game. Don't ask me, that's really weird, and I probably wouldn't figure it out myself if I played it without a walkthrough or something. Okay. Oops. I need to go outside and then use this thing. And it teleports us to a floating island. Which, by looks of it, definitely isn't floating continent of Is. Looks more like some alien world. Okay, this is the final dungeon, so let's go! And this place is really amazing, because it's a giant maze. Wait, no, I'm not going this way. Oh, okay. I keep forgetting here sometimes where to go, because this thing is a really giant maze. Actually, on my very first run of this game I lost a lot of time here because I forgot to map it out properly. But now I should mostly remember where to go. And always when I'm running this, I'm always in doubt. Yeah, the soundtrack of this game is really good. I couldn't find separated tracks on the YouTube, but there's compilation of the whole thing and it's amazing. And also one thing I forgot to mention. Each of the 4 classes has a different overworld them. Anyway, boss, so flashing warning, and it's a skull dragon with his weak spot being this orb he holds. He fires homing fires at us and also guillotines with his neck, but I'm standing here so he can only fire me. And I can take a lot of beatings, so not that big of the deal. And now it's time for the very final boss, the Giant Demon. Pretty much a classic boss for games of this era. Okay, so again, flashing warning. And Demon casts some spell on us, but our friendly mage comes to save us. We're also dying. Oh, cool. So, as I said, first I'm actually gonna wait and avoid those projectiles, because this boss's weak spot takes a while to appear, is this eye. But after it appears first time I can just attack at will and it still gets hit even if retracted, because this this weapon is busted. But I need to remember to heal as well. Okay, get ready for time. And time. Okay, that's barely not P because I lost some time on the last split. And the ending plays itself, so I don't even have to mash. So yeah, PB for me in this game seems to be literally free. Remember Stoll that Beef started my timer a bit late, or it so appeared from what you said in chat, or was it Discord? Well, either way, on my timer is 42 to 14. I was actually 1 minute 30 behind after Wood Dragon, and then 36 seconds ahead after Sphinx, and ended up 14 seconds behind. So yeah, PB is literally free. But I think I will wait with getting it until I can do it on console, for which I just need to buy SNES controller to GameCube adapter. But yeah, GG. And I don't understand the ending, but it's pretty nice. There were actually 4 orbs in my inventory screen, so I guess it has something to do with them when it said 4 in the text box. I don't speak Japanese, so I don't know really the interesting parts of this story. But yeah, if we would have a moment, I would like to show one thing. Do we have one moment? Okay. So I'm gonna show you one class which I haven't beaten the game with yet, called Tanker apparently. Because it's a very silly class, and I just want you to see this majesty. Okay. So this guy looks like some sailor. And also you see this kilograms meter, which is unique to this class. So first I need to buy a weapon. Yeah, let's buy this. And let's go fight something, because that's where it is at. So tanker charges at enemies like this. And chomps at it like Pac-Man. And also, when he chomps at enemies, he gains weight. So yeah. That's all I wanted to show you. So yeah, thank you very much, and I'm glad you enjoyed.